Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about why you should avoid foods that contain MSG or monosodium glutamate. Glutamate, an amino acid, is found naturally in some foods such as cheese and tomatoes. The additive MSG is the sodium salt of glutamic acid that is used to enhance the flavor of processed food. It is processed by fermenting starch, beets, or molasses. One of the reasons it's considered toxic is that it's a neurotoxin. That is, MSG acts on receptors all along our central nervous system, especially in the brain, and that can cause a variety of adverse reactions such as headaches, chest pain, and even rage in those that are sensitive, although it is toxic to everyone. MSG has been linked to triggering asthma, but it's difficult to prove MSG as the cause. There is a study that was published in March of 2018 by PubMed that talks about the threat of MSG to the public. It makes one wonder why they don't ban this additive. I believe because it's so widely used and it's a cheap way to make food appealing, it would mean a loss of revenue. It is found in most processed foods and especially fast foods. MSG is even common in health foods. If you can avoid MSG, it will make a huge difference in your road to eliminating cancer. Okay, so there's a long list of alternative names for MSG. This list is just a few of the common ones. They are all invented to throw us off their scent. When we learn the sneaky names and stop buying their products, they invent new ones. For example, any name in combination with the word yeast, although yeast in itself is not bad for you. In fact, you will hear me recommend nutritional yeast all the time. However, ingredients like yeast food and yeast protein are MSG. Also, anything listed as hydrolyzed is MSG. They are referring to MSG as a byproduct from a process called protein hydrolysis. When a protein is broken down when hydrolyzed, MSG is a byproduct, even in vegetable protein. So avoid ingredients listed as protein fortified, ultra pasteurized, enzyme modified, or hydrolyzed. They are all part of highly processed food that leaves behind MSG as a byproduct that is not required by the FDA to list as an ingredient. The three names listed on the right of the slide are commonly found in processed vegan food, such as veggie burgers. They are loaded with MSG and are marketed as health food. Now, if you live in Europe or are traveling to Europe, food labels in the European Union list the food additive MSG as E621. So whenever you see E621 on processed food labels, know that MSG was added. In the United States, the same code is used in the food industry, but E621 is not used on food labels in the US. While MSG doesn't cause cancer, it can cause inflammation. Adding MSG into food products makes it very high in sodium without it tasting salty. It's a flavor enhancer and leaves us craving more. MSG doesn't change the flavor of food, it instead stimulates our sense of taste. This makes us crave more. Potato chips and Doritos are an example of snacks loaded with MSG. They are purposely designed to make you want to eat the entire bag. If that weren't dastardly enough, MSG causes the pancreas to release insulin, which will cause our blood sugar to drop. That in turn makes us very hungry. Think of when you go out to Chinese food and you're hungry an hour later. It is known to be a key player in obesity, which then puts us at risk for diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. MSG causes inflammation, and chronic inflammation creates an environment in our tissues that cancer is attracted to.